Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's UPSC Toppers Answer Copy Analysis, we are going to see All India Rank 9 UPSC 2024 Aditya Vikram Agarwal's Answer Copy. So let's go into the question which has been asked here. The International Narcotics Control Board Report 2023 highlights a growing menace of drug trafficking in South Asia, with India being a major hub. Analyze the various dimensions of this challenge with respect to India. Also suggest a multi-pronged approach to address it. So it's a 15 marker question. We need to answer in a maximum of 3 pages. And that's what this topper also done in an effective manner. And overall, if you look at this question, there are 3 major components which is clearly visible in this particular question. Not only that, this question is picked from your GS paper 3 internal security component of your syllabus. So let's go into the answer writing technique which this topper has followed. So he has addressed the question with a clear introduction and that too in a crisp of 3.5 lines. And if you look at the body of the answer, he has followed with a subheading approach. So overall, he has used 3 major subheadings in his answer. And we know very well there are only 3 major components in the question. That's why this topper also has written 3 major subheadings in his answer. Not only that, he has written a proper conclusion. But what one of the mistake he has done in his conclusion is that instead of writing it in a crisp of 3.5 lines, here he has written extra, that is almost 4.5 lines. I will be advising my students to stick to 3 to 3.5 lines based approach for introduction and conclusion. Okay, let's go into the introduction. In the introduction, he has started with a current affairs based approach, and that too is getting a proper data from current affairs. This is going to be eye-catching moment for the examiner to award maximum of 1 mark. And if you look at his conclusion here, the conclusion is more conventional because he's talking about drug menace has led to several youth being addicted and is leading to internal security challenge and multi-pronged strategy will be required. All this is just a conclusion which is in a traditional approach without adding any current affairs linkage. So he'll be getting only half a mark for his conclusion. And followed by the introduction, he has brought in proper diagram. So he'll be easily getting half a mark for this diagram, because in the diagram he has creatively included golden crescent and golden triangle to justify his content. But what he has missed is that we should bring in box based approach for the diagram with proper title for the diagram as well as proper parts also. Okay, let's go into the body of the answer. In the body of the answer, first major component, he has written various keywords which he has highlighted like golden crescent, triangle, various terrorist organizations, and he's also talking about various countries with proper relevant examples. So overall for the 5 points, he will be getting half a mark for each point, that is 2.5 mark easily. Second major subheading, he has written another 4 points. Not only that, he has included schematic diagram based approach also. This is what I will be telling my students to follow. Whenever we are drawing diagram, it should be in a varieties of diagram based approach. This is what we need to learn from UPSC toppers, because these varieties of diagram will bring various kind of attractive components for the examiner to give marks. So for the second major subheading, for the 4 points, you will be easily getting 2 marks. And if you go to the third major subheading, again, he has followed each of the points with another various minor points also with relevant examples. So we'll be easily getting 1.5 mark for these 3 points. So overall, if you look at his answer writing technique, introduction and conclusion 1 plus half 1.5 mark. With this value addition of diagram, another half 2 marks for introduction conclusion. Body of the answer, first subheading 2.5, second subheading another 2 marks, so 4.5, third subheading another 1.5, so 6 marks for this body of the answer. And for introduction and conclusion, another 2 marks. So overall, we got 8 marks for the 15 marker question, and that is going to be one of the maximum marks also. So what are some of the important learnings is, we should try to link introduction conclusion with current affairs, and whenever we are drawing diagram, it should be relevant by linking it with the context what this topper has done. And diagram should be variety like schematic diagram, and examples should be also added. If you look at his GS paper 3 marks also, out of 250 marks, this topper has got 111 on an average of 5.5 to 6 marks. So some of the important points to be noted from today's All India Rank 9 Aditya Vikram Agarwal's answer writing technique is that structure of the answer is always going to be crucial, and we need to properly follow that with introduction, body and conclusion approach. But what is important is introduction and conclusion is concerned, we should try to bring in current affairs linkage. Body of the answer should be written in a subheading come point-wise, with points should be maximum. If it is a 15 marker, try to write 12 to 15 points. Whenever we are drawing diagrams, it should be given in a varieties of presentation like schematic, India map, world map, concept clarity diagrams. And examples should also be added relevantly to our answers to fetch maximum marks. So these are some of the important learnings. Whenever we are writing GS paper 3 internal security component, try to incorporate these kind of techniques in your answer to fetch maximum marks like Aditya, Vikram, Agarwal. If you are facing any consistent problems with respect to answer writing technique, you can contact us for further mentorship program also. Thank you, students.